fellow Synopsis, my name is Christina and welcome to another Let's Get Reelz movie review. Today is Classic Movie Thursdays, my version of Throwback Thursdays. Today's movie is Pandora and the Flying Dutchman, which was a request or a suggestion by amfchance on YouTube for my review of One Touch of Venus, starring Ava Gardner, and Pandora and the Flying Dutchman stars Ava Gardner as well. I have actually seen Pandora and the Flying Dutchman before. I've seen it a while ago, so I was very happy to watch this movie over again. Pandora and the Flying Dutchman is about Pandora, played by Ava Gardner. She is a nightclub singer in Spain, and all the men flock around her, and everybody is just drawn to her beauty, and she gets whatever she wants. She has this one guy, Steven, who's a race car driver, I think. In the movie, he has broken the world speed record and he wants to do it again. So she has Steven profess his love for her, and she's like, well, if you love me that much, you know, throw your car over the cliff. And crazy boy does it, and after that she actually agrees to marry him. In the meantime, there's this character named Jeffrey. He's an older man and he is a scholar. He has come across this journal, an old Dutch handwriting, what is supposed to be the journal of the Flying Dutchman, and he can't really read it, but Pandora knows Jeffrey, and she winds up finding out about this man on this boat out in the middle of the ocean where she's been staying in this Spanish town, and she actually swims out to him, and she comes to find his name is Hendrik played by James Mason. When Pandora swims out to the boat, nobody is on the deck, and she walks into the cabin and finds Hendrik painting a portrait of Pandora, and the portrait looks exactly like her. They had never met before, and she gets furious because he's not really saying too much. He's just very like, okay, you know, there's clothes in this room, go change. You know, he's not really talking to her. He's very concentrated on the painting. And so she goes over and she eventually gets super pissed and like paints over the face, her face, this face in the painting, and he doesn't get mad at her, and she's like very confused. Like, she wanted an argument, she wanted somebody to be passionate, and Hendrik just wasn't about her painting over the face or anything, and she comes to really like him. And then after that, her feelings for Steven are kind of mixed. She's really into Hendrik. He's a really nice guy, very soft-spoken, very gentlemanly, and as I said, you know, she likes him because he didn't get mad at her, he just stayed totally calm with her. Back to Jeffrey and his Dutchman journal. He gets Hendrik to read it, and turns out, you know, Hendrik is the Flying Dutchman. He's the real person who wrote that. The story of the Dutchman is that he went away to sea, I think in the 17th century. He came back and thought his wife was cheating on him the whole time, and he really loved her, and he was so upset that he killed her. And at his trial, he said that he would live forever until somebody would be willing to die for him, and it actually came true. So he's been alive and waiting for that one woman who would die for him to come along, and he's found Pandora. And Jeffrey comes to realize that Hendrik is the Dutchman in the journal, and they try and keep Pandora away from him, but she just really loves him. And the night before she's supposed to be marrying Steven, she swims out to the yacht and she says, I'm ready to die for you, I love you, you know, what's gonna happen to us? And all of a sudden there's a freak storm and their boat gets capsized, they drown and all that stuff. So eventually Hendrik and Pandora die. Ava Gardner, nobody could have played a Greek god. She had a turn as the Greek god Venus in One Touch of Venus, and then she takes another turn as Pandora, who causes chaos. And a lot of reviews and write-ups of this movie now, today, will say that this really mirrors Ava Gardner's life, because she was that type of woman that men gravitated towards, and just she kind of caused a little bit of destruction in her path because she was so beautiful and everything. So there's like little nuances, little pieces of Ava Gardner's life story in this, if you will. James Mason was great. I don't really watch him in a lot of movies. I've seen a few, and Pandora and the Flying Dutchman is one of them, and I think he's great. I really liked him in this movie. He looked great with Ava Gardner. They were very good screen partners. The cinematography really needs a mention, and the cinematography was done by Jack Cardiff, who is one of the great cinematographers of film history. He filmed Ava Gardner so brilliantly. This was Ava Gardner's first Technicolor movie. There was no other better cinematographer to have filmed her beauty than Jack Cardiff. There were so many scenes that were so perfectly lit, not just for Ava Gardner, but for everybody. And I mean, on her, she had such great features, these really soft but furious, fierce eyes, and she's just beautiful. She's so gorgeous, and I don't think anybody has ever looked as gorgeous as Ava Gardner did in this movie. And she's just so beautiful, and you know, now you can really see the reason why men just fawned over her like crazy. Albert Lewin directed this movie. He, I believe, was part of the Surrealists, so he actually had Man Ray, who was an artist, come in and paint the portrait of Pandora and design the chess piece. A lot of the elements, the shots of Pandora and the Flying Dutchman are surrealistic, and they're really cool. They bring so much more like depth and I think creativity to the story. The scene where Pandora has Stephen throw his race car over the cliff, after he does so, she lays down by the edge of the cliff, and the camera is filming her from like here, like so you see her face. I don't know if I'm gonna be explaining this right, but you see her face, and it was just so surrealistic. It was the profile and then looking up at Steven, and it was so awesome. I love surrealism. I love surrealistic movies because I like the different camera angles and the different perspectives that they would use to tell their story. And there's several other scenes like that. There was like a party on the beach, and the way Lewin filmed all of the musicians on the beach were just so great. I loved it. I forgot how like brilliantly filmed and photographed this film was. Pandora and the Flying Dutchman is a really great movie. All around well made, well written, well acted. If you're into classic films in any way, or if you just really like film and you want to see an excellent, well-made movie, definitely watch Pandora and the Flying Dutchman. You will love it. And I want to give a very special thank you once again to amfchance. I am so happy that you suggested I watch this, because I really do like Pandora and the Flying Dutchman, and I didn't realize how much I admired it than I did when I watched it this time. And I actually went in watching it with a different view of films because it's been a few years since I've seen it, and I loved it so much. So thank you so much, amfchance, and I look forward to more of your suggestions. So if you liked my review of Pandora and the Flying Dutchman in any way, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you have seen the movie, if you like Ava Gardner, or anything about this movie whatsoever, leave those there. And if you are like amfchance and have any suggestions, requests of what I should watch next, leave those in the comments as well. And if I pick your movie, I will give you a shout out whenever I watch it and review it. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for future Classic Movie Thursdays and other movie reviews, because that is what I like to do here. And as always, keep watching movies and stay absolutely fabulous.